Welcome to Subramani. One question which somebody asked me recently, and I'm very happy answering that, is you have been saying stories about personal financial planning and other experience of your friends, clients, etc. Has it had an impact, and do you know anybody on whom it has had an impact? Let me put it this way. I do a lot of talking about finance. Now in the next month I'm going to address about 2000 police officers and police havaldars and inspectors, sub-inspectors, maybe some ACP, DCP and couple of maybe SPs of police. The question is, after the training, what impact will it have? I really don't know, but I look at impact as, even if it has a partial impact. For example, I tell people, many of these policemen wouldn't see 4 or 5 lakhs in one go in their bank accounts during their lifetime. So when they get money for their retirement, they immediately splurge it. They give it away to son-in-law, etc. Right? So a lot of that money gets dissipated. So if I can keep on badgering them and saying it's your money, it has to stretch for a lifetime. Two types of impact. One is somebody coming up to me and saying, oh, last time you said that, so I put all that money in senior citizen savings scheme and Varishta Yojana, Bima Yojana, right? So then I'm happy, because if they've got 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs and they've put it away, it at least means that only charity you can do is out of the income arising out of that. So if somebody has done that, I'm happy. Somebody walks up to me in Madurai and says, last time when you came, you had spoken about making a will. I have made wills for 44 of my clients. I made about 50-60 wills. I charge a fee, and clients and me both are happy, and I've used that technique to acquire more clients. I'm very happy with that. I could increase their sales, right? So storytelling, yes, is important, because that is what people remember. People remember stories, but largely your financial behavior is already shaped much before you start your life with your own money. In your younger days, it depends on the home from where you came, whether you had financial security or didn't have financial security. Did your father say, oh, my purse is lying there, go and take whatever you want? Or were you told that, show me this money, what have you done, how have you spent? Right? So depending on how much freedom you got with money, how responsibly you behaved, how much your parents trusted you with money, and how comfortable was their cash flows. Did your parents fight about money? I don't remember even one instance when my parents have even argued about money. My father earned well and my mother spent less. So this was a great combination. We've never had any worries. My father has never said, I can't afford it, or things like that. We had a reasonably good standard of living. We took our annual vacations, right? We had a company provided car all our lives. I mean, I must have been 2 or 3 when we had a car. So all through life we had all those things. So all those things shape you. The question is, what happened? What do you talk with your friends? So yes, at a younger age itself, we used to talk about share market, and we always thought we should be in the share market, thanks to the upbringing and the location which I was. So all these things shape you. Just my storytelling will not change much in your life. You have to first of all be willing to change. Second, like I kept saying, I said in another video also, this could be rants of an old man, and you may be young, and at 25 your view on retirement has to be very different from my view on retirement at 60. My view on retirement at 25 may have been, after 50 I will do nothing to earn money, but right now I feel that I will do something or the other, and a lot of my recent activities the checks have gone to charities rather than to my bank account. So these kind of things will happen. You will earn money, you will pay taxes, you will do some charity, you will spend on yourself, you will take vacations. All these things will happen. You will also listen to my videos, you will read my book, it will have something shaping you. But yes, a lot of people have come back. A lot of people who are going through some kind of medical treatment, etc., are preparing themselves much better for the final departure. So they are writing their will. There are many people who have written their living will, right? So those kind of preparedness and all that I'm seeing prepare people writing their own expenses, writing their own accounts. Many people writing down their goals and saying, oh, this is a track to this goal of mine, actually doing goal-based investing and creating their own a bigger corpus for retirement. I've heard doctors coming up to me and saying, I never thought I had to, put money in ultra short bond fund, which is better than a bank fixed deposit. And these kind of simple things. So would I have an impact? I think I have a great impact if I tell stories, because people remember stories, right? I've done tons of sessions of storytelling of how doctors have to be careful, of how other investors have to anticipate the risk and then take action, rather than do the action and then say, oh, I wish I had taken this insurance or stuff like that. So yes, some slight impact of all this. Storytelling has an impact. People listen to stories, people remember stories, they may remember the gist of the story. Some of them may come back, see the video. There was somebody last week who called me and said, look, I bought this house, I'm in a big financial mess, what should I do now? I don't want to take money from my in-laws, what should I do? I said, just sell the house, right? You made a mistake of buying a house, just correct it by selling the house. Don't wait permanently paying the EMI, because life may have changed. There may be other things which have happened. For example, this guy who bought a house in some city in North India has had a child who has some major problem. So he's spending a lot of money on the child's heart condition, etc. And it's really tragic that there's no insurance available for a newborn infant. So which means he's paying from his pocket, and he's a self-employed person. He does not have a job, right? So during these circumstances, what do you do? How do you raise capital? Because you just sell off your house which you bought 7 years ago or 8 years ago. It will put some money in your hand. You use that money and to stay on and rent and these kind of things. So you come up with these kind of solutions. There was somebody who called up and said, my mutual funds have become a bit messy with the company, with the mutual fund creating a pledge on shares which should not have been on the units, which should not have been there. That has been sorted out. So you feel that some role you have played as an influencer, as a blogger, and no, I don't do any commercial stuff on social media at all. If I get approached by people to do lectures and that money goes to charity, because that's not the way how I thought I would make money. So that is the impact of my storytelling and impact on the people who are hearing and listening. And I'm very impressed with people who come back and say, oh, you're repeating this video. If I'm repeating a video which I played 9 months ago or 11 months ago, I'm very impressed that somebody who remembers these videos 11 months later or 9 months later. I'm blessed. Thank you. Thanks a lot.